The flickering light from our torches danced across walls carved with symbols that seemed both alien and hauntingly familiar. It was as if we had crossed a threshold into a forgotten world, a cradle not just of land but of legend itself. Marco's steady footsteps echoed faintly on the stone floor, a somber rhythm underscoring the gravity of our discovery. I adjusted my round glasses, trying to pierce the shadows that clung stubbornly to every crevice. The walls were alive with carvings, intricate, deliberate, telling stories in a language that felt part myth, part science. "Look at this," Professor Malik whispered, his graying beard nearly brushing the rough stone as he knelt before a panel etched with concentric circles and cryptic glyphs. "This isn't just decoration. It's a map of something foundational." I stepped closer, tracing my fingers over a cold metal mechanism embedded in the floor beneath the carvings. It hummed faintly under my touch, a vibration that resonated through my bones. The air thrummed with a silent power, and I felt the weight of history pressing down on us. Suddenly, a distant rumble echoed through the chamber, dust trickling from the ceiling as Lena's sharp gaze swept the shadows. "We're not alone," she muttered, steadying herself against a pillar as the ground beneath us seemed to shift imperceptibly. "This place responds," Marco added, his voice low and cautious. "Like the map above, the land here isn't fixed. It moves, changes." Professor Mollick's eyes gleamed with a mixture of fear and fascination. "These symbols speak of origins, not just of the world, but of knowledge itself. The map, its shifting paths. They're part of a larger mechanism, a balance maintained since time immemorial." My scientific skepticism warred with the undeniable evidence before me. The map I had once seen as mere parchment now revealed itself as a living artifact, a key to truths that transcended any textbook or lecture. And yet, with every revelation came the shadow of dread, the knowledge that such power could be a weapon in the wrong hands. The chamber's silence was shattered by another tremor. Lena quickly signaled for us to move, urgency tightening her features. The ancient stone beneath us groaned ominously, as if protesting our intrusion. We navigated carefully, deciphering symbols and activating mechanisms that revealed new chambers, each more enigmatic than the last. Time lost meaning as we delved deeper, the physical and intellectual demands wearing on us. Yet, with every step, the path became clearer. The map was not merely a guide, but a living testament to the origins of the world's shifting nature. It was a testament to balance between creation and destruction, knowledge and power. As dawn approached, I paused to record every detail in my journal, knowing that what we uncovered today would redefine everything I thought I knew. But even as wonder filled me, a cold knot of fear tightened. If General Cross and his forces reached this place, the consequences would be catastrophic. We emerged from the chamber, carrying not just discoveries, but the weight of an ancient legacy. The living map had led us here, but the journey was far from over. The cradle of the world's origin was only the beginning, and the true test lay ahead, deciphering the map's ultimate secret before it slipped beyond our grasp, into the hands of those who would unravel the fragile balance forever. And as the first light of dawn touched the horizon, the map's lines shifted once more, revealing paths yet unseen. Elias, Mercer, and Lena Dawes were making their way through a narrow gorge fringed with jagged rock and shadowed by ancient trees. The living map, now folded carefully inside Elias's satchel, had guided them here before dawn, revealing a new path that promised answers. Yet the tranquility was deceptive. Beneath the silence, the pulse of danger thrummed with increasing intensity. Elias was scanning the terrain ahead, his sharp eyes flicking between the map's subtle glow and the shifting shadows cast by the early light. Lena moved cautiously beside him, her stance alert, muscles taut with readiness. "We're not alone," she whispered, her voice low but urgent. Before Elias could respond, the sudden crack of gunfire shattered the calm. Bullets tore through the foliage, sending leaves and dust swirling in a chaotic storm. Instinctively, Elias dove to the ground behind a boulder, heart hammering. Lena returned fire, her movements precise and practiced, a blur of controlled aggression. But the attackers were swift and well coordinated, their assault relentless. The ambush was no accident. Elias knew Cross's forces were closing in, driven by ruthless determination to seize the map and harness its power. But this was more than a battle over an artifact. It was a fight for survival, for the fragile knowledge that could alter the world. Amidst the cacophony of gunfire and shouted commands, Elias caught a glimpse of Lena moving to cover another angle. Suddenly, a group of mercenaries, led by the cold-eyed Captain Rourke, surged forward, cutting off her retreat. Elias's scream was lost in the noise as Lena was seized, her arms pinned and face set in fierce defiance. Their eyes met sharp, unyielding. In that fleeting moment, Elias saw not just a companion captured, but a piece of his own heart torn away. "I'll find you," he vowed silently, the weight of helplessness crashing down upon him, as the mercenaries faded into the underbrush with their prize. Elias remained crouched behind the rock, breath ragged, fingers trembling as he clutched the living map. It pulsed softly, almost as if sensing the turmoil, its surface alive with shifting lines and cryptic symbols that now seemed to mock his vulnerability. Guilt gnawed at him. He had promised to protect the map and those who guarded it. Yet here he was, alone, facing an enemy that grew stronger with every passing moment. The loss of Lena was more than a strategic setback. It was a personal blow that threatened to unravel the resolve he had painstakingly built. Night fell with a chill that seeped into bones and spirit alike. Elias found a secluded clearing where he could think and plan. The flickering campfire cast dancing shadows over the worn pages of the map, illuminating the intricate details that hinted at the cradle of the world's origin. His fingers traced the faint, glowing lines, searching for a path away to reclaim what had been taken. Every symbol, every shifting contour, became a puzzle piece in a desperate game of survival and sacrifice. Memories of Lena's unwavering loyalty and fierce intelligence fueled a growing fire within him. He remembered the moments of tension and trust between them, the dry wit that had cut through the darkest nights, and the steadfast pragmatism that had saved them more than once. "I won't let them win," he whispered to the shadows. "Not Lena, not the map." Plans formed rapidly, routes, timings, contingencies. He would need allies, cunning, and every ounce of his cartographic skill to navigate the labyrinth of shifting lands and hostile forces. The pursuit was no longer just about discovery. It was a race against time and fate. As dawn approached, Elias folded the map with care, his eyes scanning the horizon. The living map's surface shimmered, revealing a new path, one that held promise but demanded courage and sacrifice. With a steadying breath, Elias rose, steeling himself for the journey ahead. The cost of pursuit was now painfully clear, but so was his purpose. The map's secrets and Lena's fate were intertwined, and he would face whatever darkness awaited to protect both. The chase was on, and failure was not an option. The forest around him seemed alive with whispers and shadows as Elias moved swiftly, guided by the cryptic pulses of the living map. Every rustle of leaves, every distant call echoed with the tension of impending confrontation. He was no longer just a seeker of knowledge, but a guardian driven by desperation and fierce determination. Hours turned into days as he navigated treacherous terrain, evading patrols and deciphering the map's ever-changing pathways. The weight of his promise to Lena pressed heavily upon him, sharpening his focus and igniting a resolve that burned brighter with each obstacle. In moments of quiet, memories surfaced Lena's sharp laugh, the way her eyes narrowed when assessing danger, the unspoken trust that had grown between them. These recollections were both balm and torment, fueling his quest while reminding him of what hung in the balance. Elias's mind replayed the ambush endlessly, dissecting every second, every decision. Could he have acted differently? Was there a sign he missed? The questions threatened to ensnare him in a web of doubt, but he fought hard to remain steady. The living map, ever shifting and mysterious, became his beacon in the darkness. Its glow illuminated hidden paths and secret chambers, revealing clues that hinted at Lena's possible location and the tactics of their pursuers. Yet, with each revelation, the danger intensified. Cross's forces were relentless, their reach extending like a shadow over the shifting lands. Elias knew the coming days would test not only his intellect and courage, but the very limits of his endurance. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Elias paused to rest beside a trickling stream. The cool water soothed his weary hands as he unfurled the map once more. The delicate lines pulsed softly, as if alive with anticipation. "Lena," he whispered, voice thick with emotion. "Hold on, I'm coming." The map revealed a narrow passage through the mountains, a route fraught with natural dangers, but less guarded by Cross's men. It was a gamble, a desperate hope that this path would lead him closer to her. With renewed purpose, Elias set out under the cloak of night, the stars overhead silent witnesses to his solitary march. The weight of the map and the memory of Lena's fierce spirit propelled him forward through shifting shadows and uncertain dawns. The cost of pursuit was steep, but the price of surrender was unthinkable. Elias Mercer was determined to pay it in full. The battle for survival had transformed into a battle for hope. Every step Elias took was heavy with the knowledge that failure meant not just loss, but the unleashing of a power that could reshape the world in terrifying ways. As the first light of dawn painted the sky, Elias stopped on a ridge overlooking a sprawling encampment Cross's stronghold. Somewhere within its fortified walls, Lena was held captive, a prisoner of ambition and cruelty. Elias's pulse quickened, but his voice was steady as he spoke to the living map. "This ends soon." The path ahead was perilous, fraught with uncertainty and sacrifice. Yet, with the map as his guide and Lena's fate intertwined with his own, Elias Mercer stepped forward, ready to face the darkness and reclaim the light. The chase was no longer just a pursuit of knowledge. It was a fight for survival, for trust, and for the fragile hope that even in the shifting lands of the world, some truths endure. Flickering shadows danced across the walls, cast by the modest fire outside that struggled to push back the encroaching darkness. At the center, Professor Harun Malik unfolded the ancient scrolls, their brittle edges curling like the pages of a forgotten tome. His fingers, weathered but steady, traced the intricate inscriptions etched in a language older than any Elias had encountered before. Elias leaned in close, his breath shallow, eyes sharp behind his round glasses. Lena, ever vigilant, stood near the tense entrance, her gaze flicking between the dark horizon and the flickering firelight. The air was thick with a tension that mingled with the excitement of discovery. "These symbols," Malik began, his voice a low murmur, "they are not merely markings. They are a key cipher that unlocks the map's deepest secret." Elias swallowed hard, feeling the weight of those words settle like a stone in his chest. For weeks, they had chased the shifting paths of the map, each dawn revealing new enigmas that teased the edges of human understanding. Now, at last, a glimpse into the true nature of the map itself. Malik's eyes flickered with a rare intensity as he carefully aligned the parchment with the living map spread across the table. The map pulsed faintly, as if responding to the ancient script, the lines and symbols glowing softly beneath their touch. The map, Malik continued, is not just a guide. It is a living entity, a repository of power beyond mere geography. It holds the power to reshape reality itself, to shift the very fabric of the world. But such power comes at a constant equilibrium maintained by forces older than we can comprehend. Elias felt a chill run down his spine. The awe he had long carried now mingled with a profound dread. Could such power be wielded without destruction? Could they protect it from those who would exploit it for war and domination? Lena's voice broke the silence, steady and resolute. We can't let it fall into the wrong hands. Not Cross, not anyone. Malik nodded gravely. Indeed, the inscriptions speak of guardianship, of balance. The map's power is a double-edged sword, capable of creation or annihilation. Outside, the desert wind whispered through the night, carrying with it the distant echoes of a world forever shifting beneath their feet. As Elias traced his finger over the newly understood symbols, he felt the enormity of their mission settle firmly on his shoulders. The map was more than a tool. It was a responsibility, a living testament to the fragile boundary between discovery and destruction. The dawn crept in slowly, pale light filtering through the tense fabric. The map shifted once more, revealing a new layer of cryptic symbols that deepened the mystery and hinted at challenges yet to come. Elias glanced at Lena and Malik, their faces etched with the same mixture of hope and uncertainty. The journey ahead would demand everything they had: courage, wisdom, and an unyielding commitment to protect the delicate balance they had uncovered. In that quiet moment, the map's living hearts pulsed beneath their hands, a beacon of endless pursuit and a reminder of the price that knowledge exacts. The secrets were unveiled, but the true test, the ethical quandary of wielding such power, was only just beginning. Elias's voice, steady but low, broke the silence. We have the knowledge now, but what we do with it will define us all. And with the rising sun casting long shadows across the shifting sands, the endless pursuit continued. The air was thick with a mix of dust, anticipation, and the faint musk of damp earth. Elias traced a finger along the jagged lines that marked Cross's stronghold, his mind racing to anticipate every possible defense. The perimeter is heavily guarded, Marco said, his voice low, eyes scanning the map. But there's a blind spot here, near the eastern ridge. The terrain drops sharply, makes it harder for sentries to maintain a clear line of sight. Jade nodded, tapping rapidly on her tablet. I've managed to intercept some of their comms. Their patrols operate on a rigid schedule. We have a narrow window of about 10 minutes when the number of guards is at its lowest. That's our chance. Elias tightened his jaw, steeling himself. We can't afford mistakes. Lena's life depends on this. The plan was daring in its simplicity, but fraught with peril. Marco would lead the way through the dense underbrush, using his intimate knowledge of the shifting landscape to avoid patrols and natural hazards. Elias would follow closely, ready to face whatever dangers lay ahead. Jade would remain behind, her fingers dancing across the keys as she monitored enemy communications, providing real-time intelligence and hacking into security systems to disable cameras and alarms. As night deepened, the trio moved out. The forest enveloped them in near complete darkness, broken only by the occasional glint of stars peeking through the canopy. Each step was deliberate, every breath measured. The scent of moss and wet leaves filled the air, mingling with the distant echo of crickets. "Stay close," Marco whispered, pausing to listen. The rustle of a small animal startled them, sending a jolt of adrenaline through Elias's veins. His eyes darted through the shadows, every sense heightened. Hours passed with agonizing slowness. Jade's voice crackled softly through the earpiece. 2 guards approaching from the northwest. "You've got about 30 seconds before they pass your position. Stay still." They pressed themselves against the rough bark of an ancient tree, hearts pounding in sync with the passing footsteps. When the danger passed, they exhaled in relief and pressed onward, finally reaching the base of the ridge that concealed the enemy compound. From this vantage point, the stronghold sprawled before them, the fortress of concrete and steel, lit sporadically by harsh floodlights. The hum of generators and muffled voices carried on the night air. Elias's gaze locked on the darkened windows of a central building where Lena was likely held. "Jade, can you disable the cameras on the south wall?" Elias whispered. "Working on it," came the reply, the faint sound of rapid typing underscoring her words. Slowly, the cameras blinked off, one by one, shadows swallowing the watchful eyes of the compound. Marco led the way to a narrow service entrance, picking the lock with practiced ease. The door creaked softly as they slipped inside. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the metallic scent of machinery. The faint buzz of fluorescent lights overhead flickered intermittently. Every corridor seemed to stretch endlessly, lined with cold, grey walls and locked doors. Elias's pulse quickened as they moved deeper, guided by Jade's hacked schematics and Marco's intuition. Suddenly, a harsh light flooded the hallway. A patrol rounded the corner, weapons raised. Marco reacted instantly, pulling Elias into a shadowed alcove. They held their breath as the soldiers passed, the sound of boots fading into the distance. "That was too close," Marco muttered. They pressed onward until they found the cell. The heavy metal door was secured with electronic locks, but Jade's hacking skills proved invaluable. A few moments later, the door slid open with a hiss. Lena stood inside, shackled but unbowed. Her sharp eyes met Elias's, a flicker of relief and determination shining through. "About time," she said dryly. Elias worked quickly to free her, his hands steady despite the adrenaline coursing through him. "We've got to move fast. Cross's men will be alerted soon." Together, they retraced their steps, alert to every sound and shadow. Jade's voice guided them through the labyrinthine corridors, disabling alarms and opening gates remotely. Outside, the forest embraced them once more. The weight of the mission pressed heavily on Elias's shoulders, but the sight of Lena safe was a balm amid the chaos. As dawn crept over the horizon, painting the sky with hues of gold and rose, Elias allowed himself a moment of quiet hope. Their victory was hard won, but the war was far from over. Cross would not relent, and the map's secrets still hung in the balance. "This is just the beginning," Elias murmured, eyes fixed on the shifting lands ahead. The rescue had succeeded, but the pursuit of truth and survival continued. The living map awaited, its mysteries beckoning with every new dawn. The stronghold was a fortress carved into the jagged cliffs, a bastion of General Victor Cross's ruthless ambition. Every step forward was a calculated risk, each breath a stolen moment in the shadow of imminent danger. Marco Silva moved silently beside him, his eyes sharp and scanning every corner, every flicker of movement. The local guide's intimate knowledge of the shifting terrain had been invaluable. But inside this fortified complex, their advantage was far less certain. Jade Kim's voice crackled softly through the earpiece, a lifeline of digital vigilance amid the physical peril. 2 guards patrolling the eastern corridor. Slow pace, Jade whispered, her fingers dancing over a keyboard miles away. You have a 5-minute window before the next sweep. Elias nodded, his heart pounding in rhythm with the ticking countdown. All right, Marco, lead the way, keep it quiet. They slipped forward, shadows among shadows, weaving through the labyrinthine halls where the stale scent of oil and metal clung to the air. The map was their guide, not the living map that shifted with dawn, but the mental map forged by countless hours of planning and whispered intelligence. Somewhere ahead, Lena was held captive. Her capture had been a brutal blow, turning their mission from exploration into desperate rescue. Their footsteps faltered near a stairwell where the faintest glimmer of light spilt from under a heavy door. Elias signaled Marco to halt. They listened. Muffled voices, low and urgent, echoed from within. The unmistakable clang of metal against metal. Lena's chains. This is it, Elias breathed, steeling himself. Marco produced a compact set of lockpicks, his hands steady despite the stakes. Cover me, Elias murmured. Jade's rapid-fire updates provided a digital shield, tracking enemy movements and guiding their timing. The lock clicked open with an almost inaudible snap. As the door creaked ajar, a sudden burst of gunfire shattered the silence. Shouts erupted. Cross's soldiers had been alerted. Chaos exploded inside the narrow corridor. Elias dove forward, pulling Lena free amidst the hail of bullets and ricochets. Marco returned, fire, his movements precise and practiced, while Jade's remote drone provided a fleeting distraction overhead. In the midst of the firefight, a shadow detached itself from the Chaos Captain Rourke, his cold eyes locked on Elias, a predator sizing up its prey. The mercenary's voice cut through the noise with icy clarity. You're trespassing, Mercer. This ends now. Elias squared his shoulders, adrenaline sharpening his senses. Not while I still breathe. They clashed in a brutal dance of wills. Rourke's tactical prowess pitted against Elias's quick thinking and determination. The narrow hallway was a cage, amplifying every grunt, every strained breath. Elias dodged a crushing blow, his mind racing to find an opening. Behind them, Marco and Jade fended off reinforcements, their teamwork a symphony of survival. Lena, though weakened, held on, her trust in Elias a silent beacon. With a calculated feint, Elias disarmed Rourke, forcing a retreat into the shadows. The mercenary's glare promised this was far from over. Move, Elias commanded, urgency threading his voice. They fled into the night, the cold air biting but liberating. Alarms blared behind them, a cacophony of pursuit and rage. Yet, in that moment, the taste of victory was undeniable. Lena was safe, for now. But as the first light of dawn crept across the horizon, Elias knew the battle had only just begun. The map still shifted, still held secrets that could alter the world's fate, and Cross would stop at nothing to seize that power. As they vanished into the wilderness, the weight of the mission pressed heavier than ever. Trust had been tested, courage proven, but the path ahead remained uncertain, fraught with peril, wonder, and the endless pursuit that defined Elias Mercer's journey. The night's rescue was a fragile triumph, a prelude to the storm that awaited them all.